Fight man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Let's get into a breakdown prediction for Jermall Charlo taking on Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Let's talk about it. It's live on pay-per-view, special pay-per-view this weekend. You have two main events. One card start off at $7 for one pay-per-view price. The other one, I think, start off at $9. It's one big pay-per-view. They basically called it two main events because Jermall Charlo don't want to be the co-main event. And Jermall Charlo don't want to be the co-main event. But once again, Jermall Charlo, when they kind of team up with his twin on cards, he got the better fight. He had the better fight versus Tony Harrison in the first fight. He got the better fight tonight. It's 3-belt unification. He should be the main event. And then Big Charlo should be the co-main. Just off the strength of he got a better fight again. But also, he actually got a real belt. You know, the regular WBC, they still got Canelo as a franchise at the middleweight. But let's get into this fight. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I'm very excited for this pay-per-view card. I'm probably going to purchase it. And guess what? I'm probably going to go live this weekend on the fight. So me and Lion Killer come on and do live. It might change, but you never know. But yeah, man, interesting fight here. We're doing a little classic breakdown. Check out the prediction playlist. Somebody asked me if I still did predictions only for fights that really matter. All right, it's a fight that matters. Derevyanchenko has lost 2 of his last 3. He's lost to Triple G, Danny Jacobs. I think he beat Jack Cole-Cly in between all of that. Charlo hasn't tasted defeat in his career. He has some tough fights, though. He had a tough fight with Trout that some people think could have went both ways. Some people thought he had a, Korobov fight. He robbed him. I think, obviously, Korobov could have easily won that fight, but we know about the politics. So, looking at this fight, I think Charlo has 70.5-inch reach. Derevyanchenko has a 67.5 reach, somewhere around there. He's 5'9", Charlo's 5'11". I think he's a little bit taller than that. But, talk about strength in this fight. We can start off with Derevyanchenko, the challenger. Inside fighting. That's his biggest strength in this fight. If he's able to get on the inside, he's able to bang with Triple G on the inside. He easily bangs with Charlo, and this is a fight of ranges. Other than that, he's been in there with the upper echelon competition. He fought Triple G. He's fought Danny Jacobs. He's fought a lot of guys. Torian Johnson. He got a lot of experience. I think his resume shows he got 18 to 20 fights, but he had 24 fights in the World Series of Boxing. Also, his only defeat out of his 24 fights came from Brian Carlos Castanos in that World Series of Boxing as well. But, his strengths is, good body puncher, good inside fighter, good double jab, good footwork on the inside. He got an irky-jerky type movement, so he got good footwork. He kind of got that push-pop type of style. There's been fighters that had that push-pop type of style. He know how to work the angles, Got a really good left hook, got a really good, like I said, double jab, coming over the top with the right hand. He's really good. Got the high guard going. So that's what you get for Derevyanchenko. Good footwork, push-pop type of style, good body punching. Good left hook, good double jab, good right hand coming in, good uppercut. Just, really good at, fighting inside. Charlo, Big Charlo, Jermall Charlo got a terrific jab. He got one of the hardest power punching jabs in the business. When you're talking about power jabs, you're looking at Golovkin, you think Mikey Garcia, you think Jermall Charlo. Good straight right hand, fight tall, fight behind the stick. Amazing stamina, amazing chin. Good, he can, got a good uppercut. I think that's going to serve him well this fight as well, too. So he does a lot of things well, you know what I'm saying? Good hand speed, good power, strong kid, can take a punch, resilient, got a chin, can counter punch, when he feel like it. He had one of the best counter punches we've seen last decade when he dropped and knocked out, he dropped Julian Williams and ended up knocking him out. So that's kind of what you get with him. You know what I'm saying? You get a guy that's athletic. His athletic ability and his stamina and his strength, and his chin kind of stand out. Without those things, I don't even think he's a world championship level contender. So credit to him for, genetics giving him a good chin and him working out in the gym, having amazing stamina. Now, you talk about the weaknesses with Derevyanchenko. I just think simply fighting on the outside. When you 5'9" and you got short reach, he ain't the most effective guy on the outside. If you allow him to get on the inside, then he becomes an effective guy. Other than that, just not a lot of glaring weaknesses, you know what I'm saying? But he does got the earmuff situation where, remember Arthur Abraham, he used to put these earmuffs on and let you work. He will put the earmuffs on. He will take chances coming on the inside, so you can't catch him coming in. But just being, staying on the outside, taking chances coming in. There's some openings there. Sometimes when he ready to punch, he dropped that backhand. Those something to look at as well too. So not a lot of glaring weaknesses with him. It's just, if he able to fight his fight on the inside, it's gonna be a long night. But he has tremendous amount of mileage on him. His last fights, I mean, he got 20 fights as a professional. I think 24 fights in the World Series of Boxing. He got a tremendous lot of miles on him. So, a lot of wear and tear. I think he might be right or primed to be knocked out. But when I watch him, he get clipped coming on the inside. He get clipped on the outside a little bit. But he got a high tight guard, and that's an advantages to that, and there's some disadvantages to that. But there's not a lot of really weaknesses to Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? You look at Jermall Charlo. There's some weaknesses there. He looked good, cutting off the ring on Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan is a guy that got good footwork, but I think he struggles with guys, southpaws in particular, which he's not facing this fight. But he struggles with guys who can move a little bit. He kind of struggles with his footwork. He's more of a plotter. He don't really get on his toes a lot. He's one of those guys that really plant his feet and really, he's a plotter. You can walk him into counters. He's really aggressive and he wild. Like in a Korobov fight, if you sit back, you can snipe, which I don't really think that's Derevyanchenko's strength. I believe he can do it, but if you sit back and let him come to you, there's counter opportunities where he lead in with his chin. Those are opportunities there. I just think technically there's some issues there. If you're able to, use your footwork, work angles, that kind of bothers him a little bit. He's kind of a stiff fighter. You kind of, the last couple Ronnie Shields fighters that he got, FN Jabo and him, are real stiff. So that push pop style could work for Derevyanchenko. But other than that, just, his footwork not that, really more of a plotter. He is aggressive and you can't frustrate him, and he will walk into some shots. He really trusts his chin, and then other than that, I guess if you get on the inside with him, I don't know what his inside game looking like. I think you can win. And he struggled with southpaws, even though that's not the case here. But I believe his inside game is questionable. His footwork, if you can move around the ring, is questionable. And if you can frustrate him, he's emotional. He will go in there and he will. One thing you can tell about him, he'll go out on his shield before he pack it up and go home and try to win a boring decision. So he's emotional in the ring, and when you are emotional, that can get you knocked out as well too. So I seen it in Korobov. He get frustrated. If you can frustrate him with movement, eventually Derevyanchenko may not have to win it on the inside. If he can frustrate Charlo, get on the inside, and then make Charlo come to him, there may be some opportunities to land some one-hitter quitters on him. But there's some weaknesses on both sides. I'm not saying both guys are perfect fighters, but game plan for Derevyanchenko, simply, I think, get on the inside, come behind a double jab, and there's going to be a price to pay. To take away the jab, he can jab with him, or he can take a chance by coming over the jab and countering it. Either way, it's dangerous, but he's going to have to find a way. But I think if he uses footwork and his angles and uses double jab, and he circled to his right away from Charlo's jab, and he come over the top with his right hand, he should be able to get in there. Derevyanchenko would jump in with a left hook to try to get in there too. So that's something that, you got to pay attention. He'll jump in with a left hook. He always don't use the jab. So, if Charlo expecting the jab, or Derevyanchenko's feinting the jab, and Charlo, probably, bite on the feint, you see Derevyanchenko come around with a left hook, and get on the inside. So that was one of those things. He get on the inside. I think and work the body. That should be the game plan earlier, jab and left hook on the inside. Once you get on the inside, it's working the body. And I'm a bet a pretty penny that Charlo don't know how to hold on the inside, and that's something that him and Ronnie should work on. If he get on the inside and he work the body early on, this is how you take away guys that got good chins. This is how you deal with the Durans. This is how you deal with the Chavez's. This is how you deal with the Jake LaMotta's, who might have the greatest chin in the world of all time. This is how you deal with those guys. You have to really attack the core. Derevyanchenko got to do when he get on the inside, don't headhunt, attack the core, and keep turning Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Keep turning him, because if you don't turn him, you're gonna be sitting duck, and he can start digging with that uppercut, which he got a really good uppercut. So if I'm in the corner, we gonna use the double jab to get in, but also we gonna mix in that double jab, with a left hook every now and again to set the table. And if we able to feint, double jab, and get on the inside with that, we got to work the body. And also, if we get Charlo hunched over, work the uppercut. Now, you always got to have a plan B as well, too. And if I was them and I had a plan B, maybe you come out, at one point, and you make Charlo come to you. You make him, give up his height, and then you able to snipe like Korobov was. Maybe that might be in their plans as well, is to let the kid come into him and walk him into shots, because that easily can be done. He walks into shots, but then again, what you're giving him is you're giving him leverage on his shots, and if you allow him to get leverage on his shots and get comfortable, then Derevyanchenko may, if he need to switch it up, be losing. He may not be able to bob and weave his way on the inside. Charlo might get comfortable, but I'm willing to bet Charlo gonna have issues controlling the distance versus Derevyanchenko, in my opinion. He was able to keep, Brandon Adams at bay. He was able to keep Hogan at bay. But, Derevyanchenko was, willing to take a shot. He able to take a shot. And I think his defense and his head movement and his footwork is going to allow him to get angles on Charlo. And he got to score to the body. He got to break this dude down to the body. Old school hip punches. You know what I'm saying? I was exclusively worried about the body, break him down to the body, and then, Derevyanchenko is able to find a home, then he can go to work upstairs. Pretty much that'll be my game plan or my plan B. I mean, they can come out and think about walking Charlo into some shots, but then again, I'd rather get in his wheelhouse and see if he can fight on the inside, see if he can hold. I'll be, working on holding his arm and beating him up with a free arm. And, and if this fight is on the inside, then Derevyanchenko's going to, he's going to make it a war. It's going to be a true test of stamina and will. We know he can take a big shot. We seen him take Danny Jacobs' shot. And we do know he get dropped early on. So he's susceptible to getting dropped early on. So, and that happens because, he trying to get on the inside and he get clipped, So Charlo in the first couple rounds against, Danny Jacobs and Triple G, he got clipped coming on the inside. But let's talk about Charlo's game plan. I think it's simply to use the best punch ever invented in boxing, and that's the left jab, and that's the jab in general. And, keep that jab in his face. He's going to try to double jab and come over the top and take away your jab, but keep that jab working. Keep the two, keep it simple, jab, two, and he's going to have to use his footwork. He can't just sit there and plot and sit on his jab. If he do that and he missed with his jab, even though it's one of the better jabs in boxing, Derevyanchenko was able to get inside and come over with the left hook, and he able to get inside, if Derevyanchenko was able to counter that jab consistently, and that's either, walk away from the jab and come with the right hand, or is that able to slip the jab, come with the left hook, then come with the right hand or something of that nature, then work the body. If he able to counter that jab, he not going to want to throw that jab, and that's what happens. You jab with the jabber, or you can counter the jab. There's multiple ways to take away that jab. So I think Derevyanchenko is going to try to take away his binky, and if he's able to take away the jab, then we got to talk about plan B. Then plan B for Charlo is, I don't really know. You're going to have to bang with this guy on the inside, but I think his best way is to jab. Well, we working on doubling the jab. We working on, shooting the jab as a peppering shot, and not just stepping into it as a power jab. He got to switch the speed of the jabs. I sound like Paulie, but he got to come out doubling the jab, power jab, popping it out there, real simple, and keep Derevyanchenko guessing. Derevyanchenko's going to try to get on the inside. You know what I'm saying? He got to keep that distance. he can hold his ground every now and again and shoot a right hand, and then, step away from Derevyanchenko. And I would say step away from Derevyanchenko's left hook, so he had to step to his right, you know, and make Derevyanchenko reset. That's what it's going to be about. He had to take Derevyanchenko's angles away. So when he jab or double jab, or Derevyanchenko try to get in close, what he's going to have to do is either smother him and hold him, keep the jab popping, or he's going to move his feet and move to his left to get away from Derevyanchenko's right hand. He's going to try to set him up with the left hook and the right hand, but I think that's how he's going to get on his inside. But I think if Charlo is able to keep him guessing, what type of jab is coming, maybe a power jab, maybe a popping double jab, maybe a quick jab, and then he able to mix that in with the right hand. I think Derevyanchenko trying to slip inside, he not going to see the right hand coming. I think also the key for Charlo as well too is going to be the uppercut. I think if you set him up for that uppercut all night, just sitting on the jab, the double jab, rolling, sliding to your left, sitting on the right hand, I think, at some point he got to take a chance. He's going to try to weave on the inside, maybe with a left hook, or maybe him coming to high guard. Hey, you can hit him with an uppercut. The uppercut is going to be there. I think you can walk him into it. I think the jab and the right hand can set the table for the uppercut. And also with him, if he chooses to walk him down, and press Derevyanchenko and not let him come forward and get steamed, Derevyanchenko, you can hit him with 2 or 3 punches. He going to go into that Arthur Abraham shell and let you work. And with your arm length, he got what? 2 or 3 inch, almost arm reach advantage. He gonna take chances jumping on the inside, and when he take chances, counter shot's gonna be there. And I think, jab is gonna be key for him. Footwork is gonna be key. Not sitting there being a plotter. They got to get on their toes this fight, slide a little bit, move just enough away from his left hook. And I think the double jab, the power jab, the right hand, I think those gonna be key early on. His movement and keeping his hands up and controlling distance. But then when Derevyanchenko take a chance coming in, he think you feint the jab, or he slip it. He think he coming in. He's gonna be expecting the right hand. Hey, bam, we hit him with the uppercut. I think the uppercut is punches to watch. For Charlo, jab, right hand, uppercut should be the punches to win this fight. He'll use a left hook every now and again, but I think the uppercut, if he does get the knockout, is going to be the punch to do it. A lot of people think Derevyanchenko's last performances versus Danny Jacobs, Golovkin, is going to mean something here. One of the things they do mean is he got mileage. He been in wars. He got wear and tear. Like I said, they say he got 20 fights on his professional resume. Technically, he got over 40 fights if you use the World Series boxing. He had over 40-something fights. So he got wear and tear. Most people think he's going to be able to get on the inside with Charlo. They look at Korobov. They look at Trout. The difference is those with southpaws. And, to be honest, this is a different fight from Golovkin and Triple G. Danny Jacobs. Jacobs did a great job. And Derevyanchenko, I meant to mention this earlier, Derevyanchenko has issues cutting off the ring. That's why I want Charlo to move. If Charlo could move, he ain't going to be able to find that sweet spot that Derevyanchenko found versus Triple G. So Derevyanchenko has problems cutting off the ring, and that's why Charlo really need to slide to his left a lot in this fight. And keep and not let Derevyanchenko be able to get in the inside and find the home. He was very timid. He respected Danny Jacobs' power. Danny Jacobs used the jab, right hand, left hooks to keep him at bay. I would just look at what Danny Jacobs did, and I would mimic that. And just move and use my athleticism and slide around the ring and just box him. And, when he take chances, you got to make him pay. And Danny Jacobs set the tone with a lot of his jab and with his power shots, and Derevyanchenko didn't want none. So obviously I thought a lot about this fight. I had a pre-thought about this fight, and the film confirmed it. I expect Charlo to get a knockout. I expect Charlo to knock him out around 9 rounds, 9 to 10. I see a knockout. I think the speed, I think the power, I think the conditioning, and then most of all, I think the wear and tear that Derevyanchenko been in some wars. So I like Jermall Charlo, 9th round knockout. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, big fights, fight predictions, playlist. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All my social media links in the description. Want to make a donation? Cash App, $CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love and support. Jermall Charlo at 9. And appreciate it. We gone.